The world of sports is an exciting one, and we'll never take a break in taking a look at what is happening in that exciting world. Of course, my name is Jonah Orji. I welcome you officially to our program today, our Sports Digest, where we'll be taking a look at various issues in the world of sports. And I am not alone in the studio. I have my two guests. From my immediate right, I have David Johnson. Gentlemen, it's good to have you today.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much. Very, very happy and interesting to be back to have this great chat with you as my mentor, or let me say very good friend.
All right, thank you very much. All right, you're also welcome to the program.
It's glad to be here once more. It's yet another weekend where we take into the various topics taking place in the world of sport. I know this is going to be action-packed weekend, from boxing, NBA, of course, basketball. NBA has entered into the crucial stage, that is the playoffs. In football, in England, of course, we're going to witness some FA matches and, of course, some league matches that everybody will be expecting will turn their way. So we a whole lot for us to really discuss, and I'm happy to be part of the program. Good day, our viewer.
All right, good day, our viewer. I want to start with our whole front, where we have the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Just on Thursday, it was announced that the Super Eagles of Nigeria have moved up on the FIFA World Rankings from 46th position to 42nd after their African Cup of Nations win against our Seychelles and the 1-0 wiping of Egypt in a friendly game in Asaba, Delta State. The Super Eagles with the ranking are now third in Africa, behind Senegal and Tunisia in the African national teams rating. All right, JJ, Nigeria, moving up right now, third in Africa and also 42nd in the world. How do you feel about that development?
Well, I feel great. First of all, I'm not actually, cowed or always moved by FIFA ranking, because at times I can't even understand why players should be, why countries should be ranked, so to say. At times I believe they use it to maintain their own tables, trying to tell that this have just maintained a steady progress on their matches. But we keep on asking why Nigeria, when we are fifth. I was asking that question: why are we fifth? Have we been the first team to qualify for the Nations Cup, qualify for World Cup, and the first team to? I mean, it was just a kind of as if something went wrong. But kudos to the matches that we played last, month, where we played our last Nations Cup qualifier against Seychelles, also defeated Egypt in that nice, heartbreaking, or maybe it's a heartwarming friendly match. It was a great match, and I believe that such matches must accumulated our chance of moving to the top position in Africa and for the second in the world. However, what matters to me is our preparations and seeing our players coming up well, meeting up the standard of the games that we watch. We have good players that are coming up. Barring injuries, I think Moses Simon did very, very excellent well against Egypt. And we have a new kid on the block, Chukwueze, who also plays for Villarreal, and they're doing extremely well. I believe that if these boys come together with their heart, I'm sure that Nigeria will go places. Then our captain is yet to play MCLtv, so I believe that next matches or next friendly matches we can have MCLtv. Or if it is also a ploy that gradually retiring MCLtv from the national team, I wouldn't say. But I believe that if MCLtv comes, we'll be able to know that we have a complete crack team that will go into the Nations Cup. Now, Nigeria has been tipped as one of the teams to be looked for, in the Nations Cup, because what matters is the pedigree of our players, the level of play they also play now. It will be is on a sparkling form. Many of them are playing extremely well, but so if we can maintain that tempo, except the goalkeeping, where I've always been skeptical about our own strength on the post. On that Egyptian match, I saw our second keeper do extremely well. He was a pity to watch. he was extremely well.
Okay.
And so I mean, he did marvelously well in that match.
All right, Ike. When you take a look at the ratings right now, especially in Africa, where Nigeria is on the third position behind Senegal and Tunisia.
Sure.
Do you think that it is where the Super Eagles of Nigeria, should be when you take a look at their performances lately compared with that of Senegal and Tunisia?
Well, I think I would say it's an improvement from where we were. If you remember that we moved 4 places from where we were, 46th position to 42nd, now tells you that there's an improvement. And then it's a reflection of the victories we've garnered so far in recent times. We got during the last qualifiers, of course, everybody knows that we came out better 3-1 against Seychelles, and of course in the friendly against 5-time African champions Egypt, we also got one better than they. Tells you that we really deserve to at least make an improvement, and that's exactly what the latest FIFA ranking shows. The matches that we played were no fluke, were no smaller matches. If no other one, the match against Egypt could go as a grade A match, which we won. So I think all this input into consideration, Nigeria deserves to move at least 4 places to where we are, 42nd, an improvement. And again, I have always said that for me, these rankings do not really matter for me. What matters is what you are going to do in a major competition. If after being ranked 3rd in the Africa and 42nd in the world, and you go to a continental championship like the AFCON, and then you perform woefully, or your ranking would have counted for nothing. So let them just forget about the ranking or not. It's good that FIFA recognizes them, but let them do the needful and get a better result during the championship. That's my concern.
All right. The reason why most teams actually look up to coming up in the FIFA rankings is because of the fact that the rankings also matter during the draws. Like for example, now due to the place where Nigeria is now, has actually made Nigeria to be in pot 2, while others who are up in the ranking are in pot 1, and that will stage Nigeria against one of the top teams in Africa. Do you think that one should not, or any national team should not focus its mind on trying to improve its performances and climb up to the ladders when it comes to FIFA rankings?
Well, definitely, I would, like my friend said, and I still say the same thing about rankings. Rankings at times deceives a team that puts their mind on the ranking. If you feel that you have arrived, and you say, after all, we have been ranked better than this other team, if you don't prepare well, you'll be disgraced. What matters is that ranking, the only thing ranking does is to motivate you. That these people recognizes our good effort, which means we are just coming better. And with that, level of motivation, you can now start improving and start playing better. But, however, stated that even if we're in pot A or pot 2 or pot 3, the problem is preparation, the ability to play matches, and play very good friendly matches. If we keep on playing the type of matches we played against Egypt and Seychelles, if we play another strong African team like Egypt, like now, and Ireland and Nigeria is trying to play Zambia, such match, these are matches I want to play, because these are teams that are very strong in Africa, and teams that you can also meet their likes in the championship. Such a team can prepare you to know the test of the match you're going to face. That's what about preparation. Then 3 is if our selection, those invited and those not invited. By now the coaches, I pity this group, but we are Nigerian budding talents. It's like our musicals, stars now. We don't know who to choose. They have budding talents coming up, but let him just go down and select those that will give him that hope of winning a championship. For I know that we're going to do better than we did last time. We're going to play extremely well, but everybody, all hands must be on deck. The area, like I keep on telling you, is the goalkeeping area. Also, the goal he considered was too cheap for a keeper of his standard. And until this boy came in, this goalkeeper came in, that I started seeing what a keeper should look like. Well, we're not used to just give him because Enyama left. If Enyama had gone, it's opportunity for others to rise up. If one doesn't fall, no one will also rise. So Enyama left that big shoe. Someone should fill it in. So what I've seen on those, I'm not impressed at all. So that's the area the man must dig in and dig out. If it means locally here to get a keeper that will, of that standard, I'm sure that Nigeria will go play. Because if players play and become that area, that will be a problem. I'm telling you that it will be bad. But however, it's also a very good thing that we have been ranked third and 42nd, because having done this job very, very well, I'm sure that that if somebody says that we've tried, we can also congratulate ourselves by giving ourselves part on the back. We did extremely well, being the first to qualify before the last match even.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Considering the surprise you expressed about the ranking having a role to play in the way the teams that qualify for a championship are ported, I want to say yes, in as much as it plays a role, but it doesn't play the major role. Also, the mode of the victories or performances of a team during the series, by that I mean during the qualifying series, will also play a major role. And if you consider the fact that Nigeria throughout the series lost only one match, that was the first match we played against South Africa, and we went ahead to win the rest 4-0, drew only one. So I had thought that given that performance and being the one of the teams that qualified ahead of time with one game to spare, that they would have really found themselves in Port 1. I still have my reservations about how Nigeria was placed in Port 2, because it did sort against stronger teams and all that. When we finished, we topped the group. We finished with better goal difference. We also finished with the highest margin of victories. So how come now we found ourselves in Port 2? I really have my doubts, but I am not calm. They know their decision. But I know ranking also plays a part, but the major part is played by the way you progress, the way you qualify during the series. And Nigeria, for me, qualified the best team, if you ask me.
Okay, JJ, last time the Super Eagles coach, that is Ganatra, actually stated that Nigeria has a bunch of talented players, right now, and that in every department you see, good and talented players in the team. Can one say that the Super Eagles of Nigeria have all it takes now to win the 2019 African Cup of Nations?
We are not far from the truth if you're suggesting that, because what is on ground, on paper, we have the team to win the competition. What matters is from their mind, their preparations. If they can reproduce what they produce now in their various leagues, Nigeria will just carry with that cup. Because I have seen some boys, but most of these players play far better in their club, as one of them even play for the countryside. If you see Iwobi in Arsenal, you start thinking whether it's the same Iwobi that play for Super Eagles. So you say that it's a different ball game. It's a different environment. He plays with a different team, people that don't understand him, and play with different instruction. Because at times he's a ball holder, can hold the ball and attack his players, then pass when necessary. But we have an array of stars, a galaxy of them that can give us what we want. One of the players right from origin and not so much has been this Moses Simon in Watford. When Watford play football, I see that boy play. You know that we have arrived, that we have somebody. But for injuries, if you come to World Cup, you would have seen, the others, some of the same player I'm just talking about. Then now this young prodigy coming out of Chukwueze. For a very long time, we've not had a left footer after the exit of Lahore and Adoke Mesemaka of that level. But now we are back to see a scintillating ball juggler, somebody you can rank. If you had watched the Villarreal versus Barcelona, you see what he did to Barcelona defending Titi. He turned it inside out before scoring that goal, and it was beautiful. He has the speed, he has the artistry, he has the dribbles, everything, and has the power shots, for his left leg. So with such players, I even said that day, the ball is the form of his life. That's why he said that when you see such players playing, this ball will make the African competition easier for him. But what he's playing for is to be at the same level of standard play when time comes. But very, very soon, you see them coming to play for the AFCON. And I'm sure that having played Egypt is now the host of AFCON. Even when we meet Egypt the next time, they'll be extra careful and cautious. We are no longer team. They will tell us we used to be. Nigeria played very well. And we had another player in the form of Yekini, who scored that goal that day on watch or who before to about the second 22 seconds. It was a very good delivery. He got the ball, just dazzled past the defender and unleashed the terror with the right foot. These are things that Nigeria wants. Unfortunately, that was only going to make 22 seconds. So out of 90 minutes that was played, no goal came either way. We still have hope.
Yeah, okay, we still have hope. Yeah, when you take a look at what Genetra has actually said, that we have a bunch of talented players in the midst. Does that put us in that great stead of winning the African Cup of Nations?
Yeah, I think I want to align myself with General to some extent, because up until now, I think the only position we seem to have had strength on was the midfield, even though at some point it was neither here nor there due to the absence of the captain who used to stabilize things in the middle of the park. But if you consider the makeup of this, the complexion of the Super Eagles right now, you would want to agree with him, because you can see that in almost all the departments now you have assurance. We had only Odion Jude Gallo in attack, but right now the emergence of somebody like Paul Onuachu and of course Dick Osimhen has given us competition in that number 9 spot. That is talking about outright number 9. You have alternatives now to Igalo. And I want to tell you that, Jonah, our strongest position now, because of the way the complexion of the Super Eagles now, lies in the wings. Our wing position is replete with stars, with talents that are ready, to do us proud. Of course, spearheaded by Ahmed Musa. There you have Simon Moses. There you have the rave of the moment, Samuel Chukwueze, you mentioned earlier. You have Samuel Carlo, and I think the wing is replete with a number of talents that really, when played properly, would be a handful to any defense as far as the AFCON is concerned. When it comes to the midfield, of course, John Ogu has really shown that if given the time, he's going to take up the mantle of leadership in that middle of the park. You have a table, you have Iwobi, my friend mentioned, you have Ndidi and others. So you could see in all the positions and in all the departments, we're having 2 or 3 replacements to those who are going to start it. And then in the defense, that in the central defense, you have options, but I'm only worried in our fullbacks, left fullback, and of course right fullback. Left fullback, you have Jamilu Collins, who has been doing a human man job. Outside him, there is no depth. And then Shehu, Abdullahi Shehu himself is also there. Without him, who do you have? So that also lacked depth. So, and then the go deep in the giving department, I've not really got worried about that. I have not really seen it as a problematic area, because I've always said, let us give chance to those who are there already, including Uzo. Uzo, who is one number. I said this, it's Nigeria's number 1. I said this earlier on, that there may be something that General has seen in Uzo that we are not seeing. He has seen potentials, he has seen talent in him, he wants him to grow, and that is why he keeps throwing him into the fray, using him, allowing him not to betray yourself. Let your nerves betray you. Make all the mistakes you can with all these matches, then correct your mistakes when they matters most. So I think I want to agree with General that the talents we have now are burdened, and if properly harnessed, may really be ready to surprise us at the AFCON of 2019. Okay,
all right. So away from that, now we go over to the Nigeria Professional Football League matches that will be coming your way this weekend, where we have a couple of matches that will be taking place across centers in Nigeria. There in Enugu, Rangers will find out against Katsina United. Then in Enyimba, we welcome their visitors, Bendel Insurance. Kwara United will go head-to-head with Martin and Fire Ministries FC. Lobby Stars will lock horns with Sunshine Stars. Rivers United in Port Harcourt will stage Niger Tornadoes. Wiki Tourists will be up against Remo Stars. In Uyo, it will be Aqua United against Gombe United. Gorat FC will go head-to-head with Abia Warriors. The former champions, Kano Pillars, will be up against Academy Warriors. Nasarawa United will battle Ifeanyoba FC. Plateau United will fight out against Heartland Football Club, while Yobe Desert Stars will face Delta Force. These are the fixtures that we have today. When one take a look at JJ, at that one between Enyimba and of course Bendel Insurance, one would say maybe the sure maximum 3 points for Enyimba indicated.
Well, if football is when you calculate 2 + 2 and the other side becomes 4, I think be correct. But in football, you never can tell. Enyimba has been doing very good, they have been doing very well of recent, of late. For the past 4 or 5 matches, they've not lost any game. I mean, they've been picking their home points and getting points from also their away matches. That shows a very big improvement from how they started the league. But insurance are newcomers to having survived the championship where they came from, and now they are premiership. They would like to come to Aba and also tell us that they are not here on a fluke, that they are here to represent the Edomites very well. They used to call them the Benin Arsenal. We know them too well, and they play ethnic football because anybody from Edo has that talent. It's like a natural gift on the Edomites to play football. So with that is me, what matters is that Enyimba should win the match and prepare themselves for the Super 6. Because if Rangers, by what I've seen so far, Rangers say have 4 outstanding matches coming up, and they are top, just two points behind Enyimba. So if they win 2 out of 4, like you jokingly told me, that means that they will catapult over every other team, coming up. So win their matches as it comes. I don't like to win through Nigerian syndrome. Aba has matured, and when you come to Aba to play football, the pitch itself tells you if you cannot play football, you better retire. We are not here for jokes. So the pitch is very nice, standard, and extremely okay. Very, very, wishing you well to play. That pitch will expose you. If you don't know how to play football, that pitch will expose because there's no complaints. So if we feel that we have to win this match, we must up our sleeves and play very well. Because everyone coming to Aba to play their best football in Enyimba Stadium. I've seen teams that have been so stubborn until last minute we were able to win them. Last match we played, Sunshine Stars here. We saw what happened. It was thank God that we scored before the night just scored 1. It was 2 goals to 1. So we must try and score goals. That's the problem of our club is we don't score much goals now. We are being shy on goals, and the players have not been doing well in front of the last half of the game. But for the goalkeeper to defend and midfield is a beauty to watch. For the captain, who has just changed position, swap position to right full back, I think they're doing very well. But let's hope that tomorrow will also give us the 3 points, which I'm wishing them extremely well.
Okay, Ike. When we take a look at that fixture between Enyimba and Bendel Insurance, one will just close his eyes and say, it's a 3 points in the kitty of Enyimba. What do you think? You
close your eyes at your own period because if you remember, this is a double header. The first leg is a reverse fixture. Enyimba played away to Bendel Insurance, and last time out they drew 1-1, and everybody celebrated that because before then Enyimba had been failing to score or even losing their away matches, and then they tried to turn the table around by getting that vital 1-1 draw against Bendel Insurance. And coming to play Bendel, of course, at home now, you know that what they were able to do to them away, they too possibly can do it. So if you remember that, you want to take the match serious. And again, if you remember the fact that other teams behind you are breaking down your neck. If you look at the table in Group A, you know that Enyimba or even MFM can sit pretty well. They can't sleep with their 2 eyes closed because these other teams, Rangers, Lobby Stars, are right on your heels. So it will be deadly, it will be dangerous for you to want to lose any point at this point in time because we are almost on the home stretch now, and you know that there's only 3 teams that are going from each group that are going to make it, qualify for the Super 6. And any point you drop at this point in time definitely is going to, work against you. So if anybody has that mind, they will definitely do everything. So it's a call on their strikers now. I am glad that Abdul Rahman Bashir, got the equalizing goal against Bendel Insurance, and then let us see what Washu Aladade is going to do, because for some time now, he's been silent. I've not been hearing much about it. Even when he's fielded, he's not really registered his name on the list. So they themselves, including the former MFM player, talking about Chuka Onowa, they should come to the party. The striking line should really live up to expectation, because on a number of matches, they've created so many chances. Their undoing has been their inability to put away those chances. And how can you win a match or even get something out of a match when you don't score? You don't put away some of your chances. So anybody knows what is at stake now, that any slip right now will never put them in a proper state to make it to the Super 6.
Okay. We have another club here in Abia State participating. at the weekend, and that is Abia Warriors, and they will be going away to Goran FC. The performance of Abia Warriors this season, has been hot and cold, JJ.
Yeah, I like that word, hot and cold. Abia Warriors is a team that disappoints you when you expect them to win matches. But the irony is that they play far better football at away matches than home. I bet you against Goran.
Is it because of the pitch? Because
yeah, the pitch is one, and two, the fans. Umaya people, give cold shoulders coming to watch matches. They don't cheer them at all. If you go to Umaya Stadium to watch Abia Warriors, they're not up to 400 spectators just watching games. Even when they throw the stadium open. So when you play a match as if you're playing indoor games, nothing to bolster you, nothing to cheer you up. I mean, it affects your performances. So when you see them play against a team like Goran FC, where my good friend Willie Dube is the coach, you will see them coming out tops, unless Nigeria Syndrome plays in. I saw Abia Warriors play against Ifanyoba. They dealt with Ifanyoba seriously, and you start saying, this is some Abia Warriors that plays at Umaya. They lost last week to Nasarawa United. This is a match they could have won, and they keep on praying that they can also win something out of it. But so they should try, because to whom much is given, much is expected. People want to be there, and it won't be good after spending much on you. And every year you'll be a pretender, not a contender. I mean, it's not going to just give us nice clues on that.
All right, Ike. When we take a look at the performances of Abia Warriors this season, one, will be far from being convinced about their performance. What are we actually expecting in that game against Goran FC?
The only expectation should be to right the wrong. Make up for the losses we suffered, unexpected losses, especially against Nasarawa. Nobody expected them to lose at home to Nasarawa United, but that history night has happened. And your subsequent matches, including this one, should be taken seriously and try to really get the things, right, the things you didn't get right in the first place. And to your question, whether what the problem lies on the pitch, I tell you, it transcends the pitch. It's something more than that. The pitch is one. Then the entire management is another thing, and of course the coaching aspect is another thing. What is Steve Makinwa doing? What is he doing really to let the players try to adapt to what they have? By that I mean, you have a patchy pitch, a pitch that really doesn't allow you to play well. All this while it's your home ground. What have you done to turn that adversity into something good? Instead, you allow those who come, who visit you, who should ordinarily find it difficult to get a result from that place, to even get a maximum result. So it tells you there's something technically wrong. And then I'm not saying that the pitch should remain in such an unplayable state. No. It doesn't really all go well. It doesn't allow for good football. It doesn't even allow for you to exhibit your talents or even your tactics very well. But the management will, those running Abia Warriors will really do everything possible to have the pitch get a facelift, because it's really affecting the playing style of the players. And again, management have talked about what is the entire package of Abia Warriors like. Do they really get what they need? All the other things, motivations, on the incentives and all that, even their traveling plans and all that, what is it like? All these things really put together come into play to either affect or improve the performance or fortunes of a club. But I think against Goran, the option is just go there and do the job. Goran in the past used to really be known as those who let the merry go around by the number of goals they donate to their visitors. But this time around, they've tried to really curtail their excesses. So Abia Warriors should really, as I said before, go into the next match, including this round, with all the seriousness it deserves, so that they will be able to find themselves at least within the middle of the table. Where they are right now, I think they are really hovering around. They are romancing with the relegation zone, and that is not good. Any slip now would really sink them further into that zone, and it wouldn't all go well for us.
Okay, it wouldn't all go well for us. All right, so I want to go for a break right now. When we return from this break, we will be going over to the world of table tennis, where one man is actually climbing the ladder, helping others to see that good things can still come from Nigeria. Good things can still come out of Nigeria when it comes to the table tennis. That we will be discussing after the break. Stay tuned. All right, yeah, welcome back, and you're still watching our program Sports Digest, where we take a look at various issues in the world of sports. Right now, we want to go over to table tennis, where Aruna Quadri is actually doing well, and I want to tell you that he has been ranked 23rd in the latest ITTF rankings released by the World Body after his participation in the just concluded ITTF World Tour Qatar Open. Also, Italy-based Olajido Motayo has been active this year on the ITTF calendar, benefited too from his involvement in the Qatar Open as he gained 7 steps to be rated 129th in the world ranking. Okay. We also saw Aruna Quadri the last time. He occupied the 25th position, but now 23rd position.
Even at some point, he was ranked 21 ahead of the Egyptian then, and we were really singing Uhuru. Somehow he slipped because of his exploits in the last championship, you know, where he was, of course, beaten by the South Korean and all that. So I think that's what really made his ranking to also retrogress. But right now, good thing he's come from 25 to be ranked 23. Telling you, he's just about the lone voice, if you ask me, as far as table tennis is concerned. Though Omota himself has been giving a good account of himself. And these duo really have been doing well, not only for the championship, but for their respective clubs in Portugal. Don't forget the fact that they helped their club to really win the Portuguese league in table tennis. So kudos to them. They are the only shining light for us as far as tennis is concerned. Since the days of Tanda Mutsa and his likes, we've never had it so good until in recent times when he busted onto the scene and been holding the fort. So the only thing is that all the encouragement that we need to give him, he should get them. I'm only worried that at the federation level, we seem not to really be looking their way, except when we are trying to go into a championship. You see now them now trying to do these hush-hush arrangements and all that. But throughout the season, throughout the days, they should have a budget of that will take care of the training, the participation of these athletes in international competitions, so that they will continue to give us their best.
All right, JJ. Yeah. Quadri, the last time he was ranked 25th, but right now he's occupying the 23rd position, and actually he has maintained his position in Africa as the best African tennis player. How do you feel about that?
Well, I feel very glad and very happy about Quadri, because this is a game I myself play. It's a very interesting game, so to say. And having overcome the forays and the challenge of the Egyptian, he has now come to understand and maintain that position. But I think what led him to such fantastic form is the club where he plays in the tennis championship in Portugal. So I think that club plays a lot of tournaments, and when you're exposed to tournaments, I'm sure that you recognize and you play with different players, different teams they play. Remember what the world number one said when he played Quadri? He said that we should not look at these boys or most of these players based on their rankings. They are all team players. And Quadri gave him the scale of his life. If not for experience, he should have lost that position. So Quadri has been exposed, and playing with most of these Korea and the North Korea Chinese players has given him kudos, to maintain such things. This is a game that needs continuous assessment, continuous play, but it involves a lot of pressure and muscle display. It must renew your hands. At times you can play 15 strokes. You're not getting a point, and this is not even receiving. As you're receiving, you're also attacking. So nobody receives. Everybody is attacking. Come to table tennis. But I'm happy about his recent outburst on the ladder. He's doing excellently. We haven't ranked something before, but now he's about 23rd in the world and first in Africa. Because the Egyptian, when I watched him in Lagos, was over Quadri. But now he has overcome the forays of that Egyptian. That shows that he has made the medals improvement. And the talent prodigy is not doing bad. If you're in a club, I bet you they will expose you to matches. That's what has caused our problem in coming to the senior one, the lawn tennis here, because most of Nigerians don't belong to any club. And when you look at when we play lawn tennis, we're just playing for fun. We're not the professionals, in lawn tennis play. But the tennis here is where Lagosians take it as their own sports. Everybody in Lagos plays table tennis. It's a street game. They play the clubs, houses, they throw challenges. And you can see somebody not up to 10 years playing, just taking you on. So it's a familiar game in Lagos State, and what they call it is banner. So they keep on playing. I'm not surprised. I'm very happy that Nigeria is coming in all kinds of sports, and the people are actually, being presented. But that's also personal effort. Kadiri was also shouting that Nigeria should help him out. If you are relied on Nigerian sports ministry to assist him, he will not be where he is today. But because of personal interest and Lagos State government that took it upon themselves to launch and sponsor him most of these outings, I think that the result is what you're experiencing now. Kudos to him.
All right, kudos to him. All right, Ike, when we take a look at the ranking, we notice that Omotayo, he was far off, on the ranking, but he has been ranked 129, and this is one of the tennis players that we also feel will assume into the shoes of Aruna Kodre when he retires from the world, from the game of table tennis. How would you assess the improvement of Omotayo all this while?
The disparity in the rankings between Omotayo and Kadri tells you that we are not improving. If the one whom we expect to really take over from our number one is that it's ranked outside the 100 and all that, it tells you that the sport is even heading to nowhere. Because if he had found himself within the first 100 or even the first 50, it gives us some measure of hope that when Aruna Kadri must have dropped his racket, that somebody else is there to take. But having said that, we will not be quick to forget that just not too long ago, Mata himself, did us proud by the performances he posted during the championship, especially the one that took place here in Lagos and all that. So it's a wake-up call for tennis federation officials to really look deep into it, because as JJ mentioned, table tennis is the major sport of the western states as far as Nigeria is concerned, then mainly Lagos. So every corner of the street you go, you see them playing. So we have the talents everywhere we go. The authorities should now look into these talents and bring them up and then expose them. Because if since the days of Atanda Musa, Yemi Bankole and the likes left the scene, it took us more than a decade before we could boast of somebody who will represent us at the Olympics and other international competitions. Then it doesn't speak well of us. So Omotayo's ranking should really call on him personally to even improve his game, because he's still young. He's younger than Aruna Kadri, so he still has a lot to offer. All he needs to do is improve your game so that you really be ranked within the first 100.
All right, within the first 100. Okay, we want to travel to Europe, and the first port of call right now is the English Premier League. We have a couple of fixtures that will be coming your way today, and actually it started yesterday where Liverpool survived a scare from Southampton to beat them by 3 goals to 1 at just the backyard of Southampton. In that game, Mohamed Salah broke that jinx that has hovered around him for some matches now. He broke his goal drought. JJ, when Southampton was leading Liverpool in that game, did you entertain any fear whether Liverpool was going to rally back?
To be honest, I never entertained fear, but at times, some days, some things are just spoilers. When you see what happened yesterday, the way Southampton was playing, they were playing game of their life as if they were playing to survive relegation. You see a team that contained all the forests of attacking, forests of the Liverpool players, I mean that Liverpool did all they could, but finishing was a big problem. And such a when you content them so much, they can use fast break to upturn you. So that fast break was where I was really skeptical about that they can also come and score the second goal. But thank God to Keita that got that equalizer. Then Salah did a very good job. That fast break he had to run and scoring that goal brought the back of Southampton players, and before you could know it, the third one came through Henderson. I believe that at that point they were playing under pressure, because any slip, that means that Man City has gotten a very big difference with them. So they were so careful, knowing that the goal will come. That's when you see the best of Klopp. Klopp always told them to just cool down their game and always be positive and play. And they played. Finally, they were able to get that 3-1 victory. It gave them very big leverage and a very big advantage and motivation yesterday. Okay. So they can also face what's coming up in the future.
All right. Okay. We saw Mohamed Salah, breaking his goal drought yesterday. Do you think that scoring that goal against Southampton will motivate him, to score more this season?
I hope so, because that was his 8th match without scoring a goal. 8 EPL, matches without scoring a goal, and 10 matches he scored only 1 in all competitions. So I think he carried that bag behind his back, and it worried him all along. And one other thing that really never helped his cause of goal scoring was his selfishness. Some of the matches I observed him in a bid to really score that goal, and he was too selfish and denying his team certain opportunities that they would have tucked away if he had let some of the passes go. But fortunately for him last night, he sees that opportunity to really break that jinx. Yes, it's going to really give him his confidence back, there's no doubt about it. But what I saw last night shows me that Liverpool is a kind of jittery. Last night they were nervous, telling me that they were playing that match with the shadow of Man City, right at their back. So that's why they were trying to be overcautious, and it almost cost them dearly, because when they considered that first goal by Shane Long, they almost considered a second one. But for the heroics of the former player of Southampton, that's talking of Vijay Van Dijk, who really intercepted some of those passes that would have been tucked away, making it 2 or 3. So yes, it's going to help his cause to now get more goals for Liverpool. But I tell you, they later on realized that they knew that match, their quest for the title of EPL rested on that match. That's why in the second half they rescued their fortunes for them to be able to get that maximum point. Okay,
that maximum point. All right, we have some fixtures like we told you earlier that will be taking place today. Bournemouth will file out against Burnley. Huddersfield Town at home will welcome their visitor Leicester City. Newcastle United at St. James's Park will be up against Crystal Palace. Everton will file out against Arsenal, and that game between Tottenham Hotspur and Brighton actually has been postponed. JJ,
yeah.
Among the fixtures I wouldn't know the one that will pick out to be an interesting one this weekend.
It's the one between Everton and Arsenal, because this is a match where the fight for Super 4 continues. If Arsenal sleeps, that shows that the Super 4 will also be also be dicey. While Everton is the form of their life, last week they won West Ham, dealt with them away 3-1, and now they're beating Arsenal. But where the match would have been better was if we had won Tottenham versus Brighton, which was FA Cup, and that would have been an interesting part of it, in the sense that Tottenham will not play in their newly, open stadium, £1 billion stadium they just built. It's just magnificent, something to watch, and they opened that stadium on Wednesday, winning Crystal Palace. So I think all the matches here are out for guys. When the league starts winding up this way, those teams that you call minnows becomes the greatest teams ever, because they have nothing to lose, and they will attack you for the chances to make sure that they also survive. If you watch Burnley play today, you know what I'm telling you. Anything that is fighting for relegation is the most dangerous thing you can meet at this stage of the competition. That's why you have to be very cautious to just play them now.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah, I think you said Everton, Arsenal, holds the key. Yes, because of records. I think Arsenal has got more wins over Everton than any other EPL club. And my worry now against Arsenal is that in recent times they themselves have been the only EPL team in this season that have conceded in all the away matches. That's a very bad record for you to have. And you know, with that at the back of your mind, going to a match like this, you want to be very, very scary. And they've just only won one away match. That's the one they won against Huddersfield that eventually has been relegated. So they have very bad record away this season. And when in the past seasons past, it used to be Arsenal that held the best away record. So that's just my fear. But and again, against their coach, who really has shown some new things into Everton. I really very much do not know how that match is going to go, because Javier Garcia really has brought something new into that club, and little wonder their last match they ran away 4-1 winners, another. So against their opponents. That apart, I have my eye on the relegation threatened teams, especially Burnley. How on earth did Burnley find themselves in this position, this precarious position of relegation waters? I just don't know, because for me, Sean Dyche has been one of the revelations. For me, was one of the revelations of this season, alongside the coach of Wolverhampton, Burnley, and the rest. Burnley and the rest of them. But somehow something went wrong, and they found themselves where. So it's going to make that match between Burnley and Bournemouth very interesting, because they're all relegation threatened. They have about 33 points within themselves, and that really does not speak well for both teams.
Okay, that will not speak well for both teams. All right, we take a look at an FA Cup fixture that will take place today. It will be between Man City, Manchester United, and Brighton. Then one will say Brighton is already relegated. Will they be able to use this game to salvage?
They're not already dedicated, I'm sorry. Brighton?
Yeah, Huddersfield, sorry. I mistook them for Huddersfield. What are we actually expecting, in the FA Cup?
I think today's FA Cup will be at Wembley. So it will be a 50-50 affair, because this FA Cup, you might give it to Man City because of their position in the league and because of the pack of players that they pack. But this FA Cup, I'm telling you, it has a different spirit, a different ballgame. The players I respect and fear a lot in Man City are just 3 players. One is Sané, one is Bernardo Silva, one is Aguero. And I learned that Aguero is also in the line of having gone from his injury. If these three players played, I'm sure that it will be a very tough battle for Brighton to come up. Because Sané runs around players a lot with speed and skills, and does the same thing with Bernardo Silva. But Brighton comes from anywhere to attack you, so that's also a very big problem. So I believe that they will do much on defending today, while attacking much will come from Man City. But at the end of the day, you want to hear Man City is going to win. Okay,
the thing is that my fear for this match is really on the side of Man City, because the matches are coming thick and fast for them. After this, they face Tottenham in the UEFA Champions League. After that, they go back to face Tottenham again and all that. So, and I've always said that I don't always like it, no matter how strong your team is, coming up against a relegation-threatened team or a team that lost their last match. But for Brighton, they have these they have the two things for them. They just lost their last match against Chelsea 3-0, and they are relegation threatened. They're just about 3 points above relegation, because they're on that 3 points point with Burnley and the rest of them. So I think this is really going to bring out the best in them to come up against Man City, knowing how deadly and how well organized that Man City is. So give and take it's going to really go to Man City, but I know it's going to be not going to be easy, rather.
Okay, all right. In the FA Cup tomorrow, we'll be seeing Watford against those who have proved to be giant killers this season. Fat giant killers, Wolves. What are we, expecting?
That will be the clash of titans. Two of them have the same pedigree. Watford is also in a very great form of their own lives. Okay. The same thing with Wolves. Wolves is, we call them respecter of no team. The Wolves play better when they see bigger teams, but they also face on when they see their own level of teams. So Watford might also win that match. But the way Wolves attack is where they want to maintain their name as Wolves. Wolves are just hungrier and there's opportunities. And when they see their prey, they will keep on fighting until they consume that prey. So I believe tomorrow that Watford will not be that prey.
Okay.
I wouldn't really say that Wolves have been an opportunistic team this time around. A team who blows hot when they who blows hot when they come up against bigger teams. I think they have been all around. Generally, they've been doing very well. That's why look at their position. Yeah, it's not only their win or their exploits against the bigger teams that got them where they are now, which means all around they've really held their own. 7th position within the UEFA competition sport. So I want to give the credit to their coach Nuno Espirito Santos. He has really reorganized the entire Wolverhampton team, and right from the onset of this season, they've never made any pretense of their intentions.
And the players is bought.
And the players is bought. But well, if you ask me, compared to other teams, yes, they're insignificant players, but they really made them, turned them out to be giant, killers they are today. So that match, it's not going to be easy because, as my friend mentioned, Watford also are in a terrible form of their life. The matches they lost not because they didn't play well, but because Providence or something like that might cost you a match and all that. So that match tomorrow is really going to be a clash of wits between Watford and of course Wolverhampton. Okay,
all right. We go to Spanish La Liga, where we also have a couple of fixtures that you will be expecting today. Actually, Girona has the match between Girona and Espanyol has kick-started. The match is 25 minutes old right now, and the score is 0-0. In other matches that will be coming later, Real Madrid will fight out against Eibar. Rayo Vallecano will tackle Valencia. Barcelona, in that clash of the Titans, will face Atletico Madrid. Alaves will face Leganes. Getafe will be up against Athletic Bilbao. Rayo Valladolid we go head-to-head with Sevilla. They will go head-to-head with Sevilla, and Levante will face Huesca, while Real Betis will tackle Villarreal. Because of our time, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid.
That is where the attraction is going to be, because they are the table toppers. Barcelona are topping Atletico Madrid by 8 points. So, and Atletico know that they can close the gap on them if they do everything to win the match today. Reduce the gap to 5 points. But whether that is going to happen, I don't know. And then Real Madrid, of course, definitely want to, having suffered their first defeat under Zinedine Zidane, will want to right the wrong, because nobody expected them to really lose against Valencia. But even though on our show on Wednesday, I did tell you that it was going to be a difficult task, because Valencia is one of those who try to ruffle a number of shoulders as far as La Liga is concerned, and somehow we pull through. So if you consider all these factors, you know that the match against Atletico Madrid and of course Real Madrid, Atletico and Barcelona, is not going to come cheap.
JJ, my director is telling me that time is no more.
Yeah, but problem is the match today is that Barcelona will very cautious because of Champions League coming. They might not throw in all the tantrums today because of the Tuesday or Wednesday match that against Man United. So playing at half strength might cost them the match. But if they win the match, they've already cemented that league today.
All right, that is the fixture. Among those the fixtures in the Spanish La Liga that many fans are actually expecting. Many football fans are actually taking their eyes on this weekend. What will happen between Barcelona and Atletico Madrid? No one knows until the end of the 90 minutes. This is where we have come to the end of our program for today. I want to thank our viewer who was there throughout the lifespan of the program, and I thank my two guests, Julie Johnson and Ike. Gentlemen, it's good to have you.
A pleasure, always, anytime, any day.
Yeah, okay, and to the director of the program, Michael Ofoye, we say thank you very much, and we also want to thank those who work behind the scenes, such as Chinedu Okafor and of course Richard Carlo. We say a big thank you to you people, and we'll come your way by next week, Saturday, to take a look at various developments in the world of sports. For now, we want to say goodbye.
MCL, the world in your home.